Okay, and then I got to go.
Okay.
Well, when we were kids, as Herbie has explained, the corner was our life. And one night, standing around the corner in the year 51, on a November evening, and November is important, we were, many times, you know, kids today, they might argue about neutron bombs and civil rights. We were arguing about ice cream. Herbie, Sandy, and I were standing around arguing the relative merits of ice cream. Herbie was a big Breyers fan, as I remember. I liked Borden's. Sandy liked Carvel, and we're describing the taste of ice cream. And we got into a cost factor, and Sandy happened to mention that there was a Carvel place in New Haven, Connecticut, that served 3 scoops of ice cream for 15 cents. Herbie immediately leaped and said, that's impossible. They can't serve 3 scoops for 15 cents. So we decided to bet. And Herbie, I think, bet him $3. I bet him $2, and we are now going to drive to New Haven in Herbie's car to go find this Carvel place that sells 3 scoops for 15 cents. We decided you can't go without taking Bernie. Now, in every crowd, there is a Bernie. We call him Hoo-Ha. I spoke like this. And Bernie was the kind of guy who called up and said, Bernie, you want to go to Afghanistan? He stopped right there. We go over to Bernie's house. He's just sitting down to eat. His mother, Dora, his father, Nathan, he's just about to eat. And we walk in, we say, Herbie, we say, Bernie, you want to go to Carvel? So Bernie says, I'll tell you what, Mother, I'll run over to Carvel, because there was a Carvel 2 blocks from the house. I'll have a quick thing and I'll come back. So Bernie gets in the car and we start to drive. We do not mention to Bernie about the bet. We drive down Bay Parkway, right past the Carvel place, to the Bell Parkway to Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, West Side Parkway, West Side Highway to the Major Deegan Expressway. Off the Major Deegan Expressway and now on the Merrick Turnpike to Connecticut.
Right.
It's getting to be like 9:30. Bernie says, I hate to interrupt this fascinating conversation that you're having about football, but you remember you came to my house about 3 hours ago? You said, Bernie, want to go to Carvel? I said, yeah. Well, I noticed that we're on the road to Connecticut, so I want to inquire why. And Herbie said, well, Bernie, Sandy says that there's a Carvel place in New Haven that serves 3 scoops for 15 cents. Bernie forgets his mother, forgets his father, and says, that's impossible. I can't serve 3 scoops for 15 cents. And he bets him. We get to New Haven. It's snowing. The earliest snow of the year is falling in New Haven. There is the Carvel place. The guy is closing up for the night, naturally. It's snowing in November, and he's selling ice cream. We pull into the parking lot. Herbie says, this could be a trick. Sandy could know this guy, could all be set up to win the bet. So, Larry, you just get out by yourself and order 3 scoops, see how much it costs. So I go out, order 3 scoops, 15 cents. So we're depressed. We lose the bet. And we're eating this guy out of Carvel's because it's such a bargain. The guy says, I'm having my best night since July 4th. What are you guys doing here? So we explained him the whole bit. And I will pick up the story following these messages.
These messages.
All right, so now we're in New Haven. We have lost our bet. We have decided we shouldn't be a total loss. We ought to see what New Haven looks like. There was an alley street that led off to the main street. We drove down this alley street. We got Bernie, Herbie, Sandy, and myself. Car pulls in front of us, car pulls behind us out of this alley. People are putting stickers on the car, putting things on the car, our car, other cars. Turns out this is the eve of the mayoralty election in New Haven, and you're not allowed election here on election day. So this is going to be a party for Mayor Lee, who, by the way, is still living in New Haven. Wrote the letter. Okay. There's going to be a gala rally for his campaign workers at the New Haven High School. And we're in the middle of this gala rally. The sign, the Mayor Lee sign, stayed on Herbie's car for like 4 weeks. In fact, he got write-in votes in Brooklyn. We drive to this high school. Bernie saying, what a thing, we're in the middle of a parade. We go into the high school. They have we're in the gymnasium, and they're serving coffee and donuts, and it's Mayor Lee's campaign workers. So now we're eating donuts and coffee. And we really figure like we lost the bet, we're ahead of the game because we're consuming free coffee and donuts. Herbie's going around telling everybody what a great job Larry, did for Mayor Lee. I hear this, I start going around telling people what a great job Herbie did for Mayor Lee. The campaign manager for Mayor Lee puts up 4 chairs on the stage and says, Mayor Lee's going to thank the people, but we'd like to invite the 2 of you up as an example of youth in politics. So we go up on stage. Herbie suggests that I introduce Mayor Lee. I get up. We don't know a soul in the building. Bernie's in the back stuffing donuts into his pocket, and he's cracking up. I get up and says, I can't introduce Mayor Lee, but I give you Herb Cohen, who will introduce Mayor Lee. Herb Cohen does 20 minutes. He gives you the history of the United States. Gives you the next president, Mayor Lee. Mayor Lee stands up. Thanks, everyone. I'm telling this quicker than usual, but here's what happens. We're all leaving the high school. Mayor Lee calls the four of us back and says, fellas, I have to talk to you. I've lived in New Haven all my life. I have 3 campaign headquarters I visited every day. I heard about all you did tonight, your wonderful speech, Herbie. And what I say may break your heart, but I never seen any of you in my life. And Bernie said, we don't know you either, Mayor Lee. But now if we saw you. And he says, wait a minute, are you guys from New Haven? No. Are you visiting here? No. You going to Yale? No. What brought you to New Haven? Herbie says, well, Sandy said, Mayor Lee, that there was a Carvel in New Haven that served 3 scoops for 15 cents. And Mayor Lee said, that's impossible. They can't serve. Wind up at a story. We drive back to Brooklyn. 4 in the morning, the snow has arrived in Brooklyn. We're driving down Bernie's block. Bernie has never called home. Standing in front of Bernie's house are his mother, Dora, his father, Nate. The snow is falling on them. It's Jewish masochism. They can't stay inside the house to look for Bernie. They have to stay outside, let the snow fall on them. We get out of the car. Bernie's mother yells, Bernie, tonight, for my life, you took 10 years. 10 years. Where did you go? Bernie says, Carvel. She says, don't lie, Bernie. Don't lie. When you weren't back by 7 o'clock, I made Nathan put on his galoshes, walk to the Carvel, ask where Bernie was, and they said you were never there. And Bernie said, well, we didn't go to that Carvel. We went to another Carvel. She says, where? He says, New Haven, Connecticut. She says, that's another 10 years, Bernie. Bernie's father, wind up at a story. Bernie's father grabs Herbie, pulls him next to him, and says, you're a bum. You're a bum. Why the hell did you take my Bernie to New Haven? And Herbie says, Sandy said that there's a Carvel in New Haven that served 3 scoops for 15 cents. And Bernie's father said, that's impossible. They can't serve. I gotta run.
Hey, Larry.
This has been terrific.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry that you can't stay with us. We got